This is brilliant, and I don't know that I've ever seen anything else quite like it.
Hello, everybody. Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV here with a floor plan that just flat shocks me, especially from who it came from. Rockwood is an old dog who is apparently learning new tricks. This is one of the most crafty, creative floor plans I've ever seen, and here's the kicker. It is a triple slide camper under 30 feet. That is shockingly uncommon out there. But the brilliant part about this one's layout, this is an amazing couples camper because it has a sofa and a dinette and some really good kitchen prep space, direct facing entertainment center, private bedroom. But it's also a really good family camper with a private bunk room and private bedroom, obviously, again, for mom and dad. But being a Rockwood, or the Flagstaff equivalent, because they're exactly the same thing, you've got things like a big power awning, Goodyear tires, a better suspension for road use, tire pressure monitoring, tank heaters, enclosed belly, double composite walls, meaning composites on both sides of the sidewall, 6-sided aluminum cage construction, factory standard 200 watts of solar that you can expand on, and a new 1800 watt inverter, again standard on these things. They are cranking out some of the craziest, most crafty, creative things I've ever seen, and frankly, I love this, because if you've got a family now, but the kids are gonna grow up and move out of the house, you don't have to go get a new camper. This could be your second camper the first time because it can grow and change with you. It would not take a whole lot to convert that rear room into an office. I could absolutely see that happening. And I'm sorry, I'm like borderline shouting because I haven't seen Crazy Fun original stuff like this in so long. This is neat, original, so cool and fun, right?
And whenever I'm in a new model like this, I don't know where to begin. So what we're doing here is we're sitting in the sofa. If you were sitting in the sofa, this is what you're looking at right here. Now, some people do not love these breakfast bars. Keep in mind, that's not the only dining in this model, because the rear multi-function flex room could be a dinette. It could be a private dining room. This provides separation of kitchen and dining in a less than 30-foot space with 3-zone, well, in a sense, 4-zone entertainment, because the living room has its own smart TV. The bedroom over there, it can have its own smart TV. The rear flex room, bunk room, dining room also has its own entertainment. And then, of course, you've got things like outside speakers and outside TV mounts as well, you know. So this is, it can do a little bit of everything. Now, did you happen to notice there was a second air conditioner installed up in that bedroom? These are 50 amp, and they are second air capable right from the factory. And what's really cool, they are both centralized. 30,000 BTUs of dual ducted air conditioning in a box like this in a 30-foot space. That is some serious cooling capacity. And I feel very confidently, if you live in sun country, you could be comfortable in one of these with the air running. It's about 93 degrees and insanely humid by Michigan standards. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like Georgia humidity. I've been in Georgia during peak humidity season. Like, folks, you have my respect. You are survivors, okay? But, you know, for Michigan standards, it's pretty oppressive right now. And it took 5 minutes of these things running to cool down. Now, I do have them shut down currently. It's not that they were too noisy to record. I just really kind of wanted to, like, literally clear the air audibly. Anyway, biggest thing is, if I walk past one of the air vents while it's pumping air and it hits the microphone, it goes, and then it gets all weird. And I didn't want to do that to, like, the headphone users. Your entry doors do have privacy shades built right into them. And notice, that is a wider door. A lot of RVs in a travel trailer size don't do that. Now, back here, like, I think this is kind of one of the main focal points. So this is one of the first rooms I really, really want to deep dive in. First of all, anywhere that you find the bigger, vent fans at all, you're going to find the bigger, better vent fans in a Rockwood and Flagstaff product. It's like a 4-speed high velocity exhaust fan with roof vent cover built right onto it from the factory level, which is very, very cool. Also, you'll see a bunch of the outlets say inverter circuit on them. Like here's an example right there. Perfect. Wow, couldn't have done that if I tried. These have a factory installed inverter, not like inverter prep, not where you have to spend extra money to do it later. It's just done. And for the 24 season, they've standardized an 1800 watt inverter across their entire family, which can do a lot more than the previous 1000 could. But see, this is the thing. Like if you're just in like the kitchen, living room, whatever you want to call it. I think what you call these rooms in this RV might vary depending on how you're using it. You look at this and you're like, how am I supposed to fit a family in here? Like, where do we go? What do we eat? You know, because there's not like, what, I'm going to fit my whole family at the kitchen bar? No, you have a dining room back here. And if you're not using it for bunk purposes, you don't got to worry about that. Ventless, carpetless flooring. That's a carpetless slide. That's that marine woven stuff. So you want to bring along the doggo, nice little, you don't want to get cat litter down the vents and have the whole thing smell like pee-pee sprinkles. You don't got to worry about that here. That table's free floating, and alakazam, you can see that bunk drops down and creates a nice little space for us there. Plus, the whole sleeper dinette is actually aluminum framed. Like anything that they build at Rockwood and Flagstaff that is structural or load-bearing, they weld an aluminum cage under it. But check this out. Even over here in the bunk room, dining room, office, whatever you want to call it, and frankly, it could be different things on different trips, or even one trip, different days, you know what I mean? You've got your own separate entertainment back here, which is, it's just very shocking and surprising, very cool to me. Now the thing is, it's kind of an interesting sort of chopped up layout. So have you ever seen like a residential home floor plan where it's like it's chopped up into a whole bunch of little rooms, so it never really feels that big? I think that this floor plan can sort of suffer from that sometimes. So it's just sort of one of those, you know, little detail things to keep in mind. Now, as long as we're over here, we got this little bathroom arrangement. The countertop is an odd shape, but, you know, overall, they do a good job with it. And it does have a corner Lipitorage storage cabinet. It's not just a mirror on the wall over there. That window in the bathroom does not open for airflow. You don't need it to open for airflow because you have multiple of these big mega fans throughout the entire RV here. It is a rectangular shower. They do use the shower miser system, and with their mini barreled ceiling, I can stand in that shower and not have to worry about like hitting my head on stuff. I'm a little over 6 foot. I do just fine in it, you know. There's also things like you might have noticed, little like shampoo caddies and stuff that they include on these. It's just those extra. Oh, hold on, I forgot. You need to see the toilet selfie routine so you can see that it is fairly fluffy friendly around that sucker right there. Anyway, backing our way around. It helps the RV look and feel a little bit bigger because it's not a full-on enclosed wall. But as you see here, you can offer some privacy in that rear room, but it is just a curtain. So if you're waking up from the primary bedroom at night and you know, going back to the bathroom, you're going to want to tiptoe best you can because, I don't know, you might wake up the kids. Now, I will say, there's a lot of things that are really, really awesome in this RV, and it does have a couple, potentially, I think for some folks, major deal breaker factors to consider. The kitchen storage is very limited, shockingly so. But I think that there just wasn't a whole lot of extra space. Like, it does have that little pantry next to the sofa. It is a nice big 12-volt fridge over there. It's one of those that can open from either way. So if you're laying in bed at night and you want to reach in there and grab a drink or something, some snacks real quick, then go back to bed, you can do that without trouncing through the whole camper. But other than a little bit of drawer space down below the sink line there, like, there's not a huge amount of storage. So that is something to kind of contend with and think about in the kitchen area right there. I do really like how smart they are about outlet placement, like in their kitchens, though. They put stuff right down where you can actually get to it. That's a feature I always really, really like. Now, up here in the bedroom, you do have that sliding pocket privacy door. And you might wonder, well, why didn't they put one of those in the bunk room? It's an angle wall. Like there's nowhere to hide the door. It's just not quite possible, unfortunately, on this one. This bedroom is an arrangement that they've been doing successfully for a long time, and I'm again kind of here for it. I also think I know our viewers in like Texas are looking at the second air conditioner and going, oh yes, thank you, I am glad to see that. Now they do both a window and a door over here. The window for airflow, the door does again have that privacy shade built in right from the factory. The door is going to be here, I think, to give you access to the bedroom in transit, in road mode. But here's another thought on that entry door, because some folks really don't like a door into their bedroom. Like, leave me a comment if you're one of them. That's okay. Or if you do like a door, leave me a comment, let me know that. That's fine too. What I'm getting at here is if you are using it as a bunkhouse. If you put those kids to bed, the bunk room with only a curtain to dampen the sound of the camper door slamming shut at night, well, it could be kind of noisy. The extra door up here can help you kind of stealth mode sneak in and out of the camper. Now, taking a look here, you see that extra little dresser drawer going on right there, and the storage over the bed. You don't see hanging wardrobes, so it's very like claustrophobic friendly, this arrangement. The thing is, all of your hanging closet storage and dresser storage is like in a slide. It's just hanging off the side of the floor plan, just a bonus closet slide like a fifth wheel. And of course, you've got the extra storage down there below the bed. And then again, below the bed, you have a monster outside pass-through compartment, which is just absolutely fantastic. The thing is, though, knowing what I know about floor plans like this, you are going to have to like go in and out and around. It's what I call two-stage travel access. Because that slide's going to get awful bossy when it closes up. And I didn't even think about refrigerator access. I was only thinking about sleeping and bathrooms. Yeah, by default, it's not exactly super accessible. I will tell you one thing, though. This is a rack and pinion slide out. What that means is this comes with the benefit of you can open it partially, like that. And then you could tiptoe slide through to get to the fridge without really opening the slide all the way. However, when you do that, this is a perfect example. I'm glad we're doing this. The slide as it's opening and closing is not fully sealed. Some of the seals are in contact with the slide, but on its way in and out, you can actually peek through and see a little bit of daylight. Another thing to consider, like this is also the bunk slide or office or dining or whatever you want to call it. This is also a rack and pinion slide. But when these are closed, the interior edge of the slide down here is unsupported. The slide is not properly supported. So it's really not recommended that you try to use and occupy those slides when they are closed. Now, I get that's a bummer, because what this basically means is this one's good for like a quick potty stop, but beyond that, you're really probably going to need to deploy slides to really get any function out of it, which isn't awesome, but I hope you appreciate that I'll go, obviously, way out of my way to show you what's awesome and maybe not awesome about a camper, so that you can pick which one's the right one, you know, before you spend all your money. And someone's knocking on the door? One of the fellows that works here, knocking on the door asking if Marilyn's in here. Buddy, I don't work here. I don't know who Marilyn is. I'm sorry.
And I mean, look at that. Under 30 feet, triple slide. It's such a weird, uncommon, unique arrangement, but it works. It works for me. Anyway, I don't know. I think this is something very, very cool. Now, they used to offer two exteriors. They had the white and graphite like we're looking at, and then they had tan on tan. And tan's done, man, basically. Now it's just what you see here. They've gone to just a single exterior. My guess is this became overwhelmingly popular by comparison and muscled the other one out. Because here's an interesting thing about RV production. Even if an option is not applied to an RV, simply having more options within your factory production setup increases the base cost of the RV because of like the labor that it takes to juggle everything. And I tell you, what I'm about to show you, I did not see coming. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me with this? That gigantic, like, drop frame front storage that they have here, almost like a little fifth wheel style thing. They went with like a diesel pusher, 800-pound rated ball bearing gliding, locks in place so it doesn't fall out of the camper storage drawer system. I mean, that is just so cool. That is just so cool. And I'm really glad to see it, because the thing is, it's like Rockwood Geo Pro. People love it. They're amazing at what they do. They've defined the market in that segment. Rockwood Mini Light, just almost unopposed in the stuff they do. Signature, classy, awesome. Ultra here in the middle, well, it's like Jan DeMarcia. Like, it felt like it got lost for years. It is looking like Ultralight is finally, like, hitting puberty, spreading its wings. This is very, very cool. Now, I want to be fair. Because there's things that are good and things that are not. You have two hot surface exhaust points over here on the camp side of the RV, where if you are using this as a bunk model, which again, it could just be a couples model, you want to kind of keep that in mind. Also, look at the size of the awning on this. It's so big it has to have a center support. Actually, here, let me swing around and back out of the sucker, because they put a monster awning on this thing. One big honkin' awning. It covers the little griddle station. Just fantastic what they're doing here. Now, speaking of the griddle station, doesn't have a sink, but it does have an outside sprayer. But what's cool, rock staff doing rock staff things, it is hot and cold. It's not cold only like a lot of them. Now, that bracket you're seeing straight above that is an outside TV mount. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the bedroom TV, if optioned, can actually dismount and mount out there. Which is obviously kind of handy. You can outfit these with power stabilizers. The underbelly is enclosed, factory standard. It also has holding tank heaters, factory standard. Rockwood's actually been doing those longer than just about anybody else I've seen. And you can see they're doing that 300-pound accessory hitch and a bumper instead of or. Now, the spare tire does somewhat overlap the ladder, being center mounted like that, but the good news is you could shift that spare tire if you wanted to. Now, the reason that the awning has, or the ladder has to be center mounted, obviously with the bunk room, you got that big window right there. If it overlapped a little bit, I wouldn't care, but remember that window has to, it swings open, it tilts open for airflow, jealousy style. And the ladder can't be on the right side of the RV because that's where your shower skylight is located. So if you weren't paying attention to that, and you climbed up that ladder, you'd step right on the skylight, and then you'd look like America's Funniest Videos where like somebody falls through the ceiling and you see like, you know, insulation and drywall everywhere. People are always like, oh, ha ha ha, I fell through the ceiling. Dude, I'd be like, oh my God, this is gonna cost me so much money. I'd feel like Joe Exotic and I was never gonna financially recover from this thing. One thing though, with this RV having the entire poop side of the camper be nothing but slides, it does mean that your sewer hookup is covered by a slide. Actually, it is, if I'm not mistaken, oh no, ooh, no, oh crap, I didn't even realize that. It was so covered up, I didn't even see the second one. Well, hey, here we go. Again, I will tell you good things with not good things. This looks to be our kitchen gray outlet. And then all the way in the back under the rear slide, that appears to be our bathroom black and gray. And I mean, the hookup is the crap cap, as it were, is definitely under the slide. Now, you can reach over there and pull the valve on that black tank. And if you can squeeze between the two slides, then you can probably pull the valve on the gray tank without actually climbing under it. But I mean, it's not ideal. So hopefully you never have to do the crawl of shame under that thing around a sewer hookup. Never the best place for it. It kind of reminds me of my friend Andy Dufresne from Shawshank Prison when he had to climb through the poop tube to escape. Which, by the way, scientifically, you'd have died from, like, I don't know, methane inhalation. Dude would have been dead. And as you can see, you can option slide awnings onto these if you prefer. By the way, on that note, people sometimes ask, why don't these things they should all have slide awnings. No, they shouldn't, because there are some areas like really high wind zones, you actually don't want slide awnings. And I've done separate videos on that in case you're curious, but that's why they're optional. But theirs are very price effective. And I still can't get over the fact, triple slide under 30 foot, couples bunk camper. Like, what even is this thing? What do we call it? Macaroni? I tell you what I'll do. I'll leave you some links in the video description. 2 links in this case. One for the Rockwood version, one for the Flagstaff version. Because they do tend to use different model numbers. So you can find the one that we have inside, because we carry both Rockwood and Flagstaff. They're the same thing again. I want to know what you think about this. I really do. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.